when I go live, I talk about nonsense. But today I thought that I would talk about real estate a little bit because I've been doing it for 15 years here in Florida. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what I noticed today. Every day when I get up, I check the MLS just to see what's new on the market, and then I look at interest rates periodically, maybe like once a week or so. Mostly, I have a great mortgage person that gives me updates pretty regularly about what's happening with the interest rates. But today they went up. They went up. I guess yesterday they went up, and it's a 52-week high. And they went up last week as well. But the average interest rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage is 7.13%. All mortgages across the board, irregardless of the product that you're in, even if it's an ARM or it's a 15-year or it's a jumbo mortgage, which is a higher mortgage, something above 400,000 or so, are up almost 0.25% since this time last year, or since last week, I'm sorry. And so that is causing a slowdown in the market. So what you're seeing is higher end properties sitting longer because people don't want to pay an interest rate. And on a $100,000 mortgage, you're seeing like $125,000 in the overall cost of the loan just due to interest because of the way the interest rate is. So it's a lot of money that you have to put out for those, for those mortgages. I had a $320,000 mortgage once, and that one, if we would have paid it off, would have been over $1 million in total costs if we had lived it out through the life of the loan. So that's important to know, and that's also why some things are sitting on the market the way that they are. Right now, what's selling is anywhere between 200 and 300,000, and really just barely under 300. So it's really 250, 260 is that sweet spot for things to be going, especially if it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath property. Everything else is just sitting there, and I'm watching prices drop over and over again in every price range. The other thing I wanted to talk about this morning was if you are listing your property and your agent is offering you their photos from their cell phone, I don't care how good the cell phone is, especially on higher end photos, you're not getting as much bang for your buck as you should. If I list something, even I just listed a $149,000 property, I had a professional photographer take my pictures. If I'm selling something above 250,000, you can bet your ass that I know that my photo skills are not what a professional photographer can do. I cannot do justice to those pictures. Take a little look out on the MLS and look at some pictures. Just go out to Zillow or Realtor.com, which draws from all multiple listing systems, and check out the photos. You can easily tell that this person just picked up their cell phone and took those pictures. If your agent doesn't tell you to move all the junk around your house, and not when I say junk, it's in a loving way, you need to move stuff. You need to clean. You need to make rooms look big and open so people can get an idea if they even want to look at it. That's the first impression of a house. And the person that is the gatekeeper for that is your buyer's agent. So if that's not grabbing somebody from what the buyer has told them that they're looking for, they're not going to show that property to somebody. So it's really important to have a professional do the pictures. It's just as important, in my opinion, to have a professional write the description for those pictures or for that house. I have recently enlisted a professional writer to write my descriptions. I write them first because I know what I want them to say, and then I send them to my person, and they write the rest of the description for me. They tweak it, they write it, and they give it back to me. And then I go over it again because there are legal issues with what we can say and what we can't say. So this morning, one description said, when you walk into the house, you'll find the kitchen. I'll find the kitchen. I hope I find the kitchen. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And this is a person that's a top producer in my area, and that's what they wrote. And then they took the pictures with their cell phone. This is somebody who's making money hand over fist. Because you see their name everywhere, you think this is a great agent. Great agents understand what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are. We're not photographers. We don't write. So if you're going to pay me 3% of the selling price, I better be spending some money on the front end of that listing to get you what you deserve. Even with all of that, if you try to sell a house on your own, you're missing probably 25 or 30% of what you could get for that property, because people are going to come in and think they can undercut you even more because there's not a price to pay the agent, which is not true. And the other thing is, especially if you're in a condo, there are lots of reasons why that condo might not sell. And it might have anything to do with how beautiful your condo is or the way it's priced. It may have to do with federal government guidelines on what kind of buyer can buy that property. I just had one that HUD said, well, maybe we'll do FHA on this condo, or maybe we won't. And it has to do with the condo's master insurance, which is the insurance that governs the outside of the property and the amenities. It also protects you from crime, some kind of fraud done by the association, the management company, whatever it is. That has to be a certain dollar amount before you get an FHA buyer. Why do you want an FHA buyer? Because that's 90% of the people that are going to buy your property. Most people do not have the income, the credit, or the amount of cash on hand to be able to purchase something conventional. You're going to need $20,000, $30,000 on a $150,000 condo if you're going to want to go conventional. 3.5%, 3% is all that an FHA buyer needs. So you want to make sure that your condo, if you're a seller and you're sitting in there now wondering, should I sell it and move back up north with my kids, whatever it is, you need to have your docs and you need to know what's going on in them. When you go to those association meetings, ask hard questions. Find out what your declaration page says. Find out if it's enough money to support that FHA mortgage. Otherwise, you're spinning your wheels. You're going to take your property off the market while it's going through the process, and then you're going to get to the underwriting portion, and they're going to tell you that they can't give a loan to that person who's trying to buy your property. And now your property's been off the market for weeks, and you've missed potential buyers. And in this market, that's really important because it's changing every week. And the prices are changing every week, and interest rates are changing every week. You do not have the time to play and find out after the fact that your property is not going to sell due to an FHA guideline that your condo does not support or isn't qualified for. So if you have any questions, my name is Michelle Flood. I'll put my website in the description box. Please like and share this video and subscribe if you want to. It's not always about real estate. Sometimes it's about housewives. Sometimes it's about makeup. And sometimes it's about drama. And sometimes it's about current events. That's why we live life whimsically here. Have a great weekend.